Hi, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Vaughnerable. I am your host, Chelsea Vaughn, and this is not just another episode of Vaughnerable. This is actually going to be the last episode of Vaughnerable. I was like trying to decide if I want to say that at the beginning or at the end and just like, surprise, this is the last one. But I'm like, I feel like I can't hold it in. So that's why I have the champagne. We're toasting, we're celebrating the very last episode ever and celebrating you guys for being here for over a year with me and listening to me blab on and speaking to the void. But I feel like it was so fitting to like be back in New York. Like I'm back in New York and I have a lot of life updates for you guys, which I'll tell you in this episode. But I'm back in New York, back in the studio. The last few episodes have been in my childhood home. So this is the last episode of my podcast alone, solo, Vaughnerable. But you guys aren't going to see the last of me. Me and Cash, as you know, Cash has been on this podcast 4 times. And she's one of my besties. And Cash and I are starting our own podcast together next Monday. On the 19th is when our very first episode is going to come out. So you guys need to run over there and follow us right now. It's at On the Sidewalk pod. And I'm so excited. Cash is so excited. Like I said, I've been doing this by myself for the past 60 something episodes. And as much as I love it, I think it's like so much more fun to collaborate and have a co-host, bounce ideas off of, a laugh, kiki. Like, you know how Cash and I are on our episodes here. So it's just going to be like even more of that, more fun. We're going to talk about like dating, relationships, big sis, like advice. And it's just going to feel like you're on a FaceTime with your 2 besties. So I'm really excited for you guys to hear it. I know a lot of you guys, anytime Cash was on, you always want more of her. You always said we should be co-hosts. So it's finally happening. Cheers to On the Sidewalk. Ew. Oh, God. Me and this champagne today, Jesus Christ. Is it fine if I leave that there? Yeah. Okay. So, cheers to a new chapter, a new podcast. We're still going to be in this studio. We're still going to be coming out every single Monday. But it's just a new name and a familiar face. So I'm really excited for you guys to hear it. We already started recording. And for those of you who are going to miss just me, I think, like I said on my last episode, that I really want to start a YouTube channel. So I think I'll do that, where it'll be more like one-on-one Vaughnerable vibes. But I also want to do more stuff on the YouTube channel, but I need to buy a vlogging camera first. But I feel like this is just like perfect timing, fresh start, fresh chapter, fresh year, because January doesn't count. But speaking of all of that, well, first of all, I didn't even talk about my hair. Guys, I have been talking about how I wanted braids on this podcast for like a year. I feel like it's been literally so long. And I had that disastrous haircut back in, I don't know when that was, October or something. And so that really set my growth back. But now that I've had it braided, I'm like, I think I definitely could have done it way sooner. But I'm going to make like a little braiding come with me to get my hair braided vlog. But I was so nervous they weren't going to be able to do it. But honestly, maybe it's just in Atlanta. They can grasp like hopes and dreams. Like they really got in there and I'm obsessed with it. Like I got the little goddess pieces. It's a little longer than I told them, but I actually really like the length. It's just kind of more to handle and deal with. And I'm not used to having like this much hair. It's kind of like heavy, but I love swinging it around. I don't know. But all my friends are freaking out because most of my newish friends or like even followers, like you guys have only seen me and only known me with a shaved head. Like my old friends have seen me with every hairstyle, like ever, braids included. So they're not like shocked or anything, but even Cash, she like couldn't get over it for a whole 24 hours. Like she was like, I expected to not like it because I love your shaved head and I just thought I wasn't going to like it and you weren't going to look like yourself, but I actually love it. And I'm like, okay, great. Because I love it too. And I don't think it's going anywhere. I probably will leave these in for like, I don't know, maybe a month-ish, and then get them redone because I really wanted to get knotless, but my hair was too short for knotless. But yeah, braids era activated. I hope you guys like it because you'll be seeing more of it. And then my apartment. I know you guys are all salivating for an update on this freaking girl in New Jersey and the squatter and the lease and whatever. Actually, I was Googling myself the other day, not because I'm vapid, but because I was looking up something for my PR team. And I saw a Reddit thread about the apartment situation. And I was like, you guys are over here on Reddit talking about this freaking apartment? And most of y'all, I see you, were calling me stupid because you were like, well, you know, dumb decisions and make you end up in dumb places. You should never put this girl on the lease. And I'm like, that's kind of true, but I didn't know. Like the leasing office suggested this to me, and I was trying to avoid paying $7,000 to break a lease. So maybe it was a little dumb, and honestly, lesson learned. I will never be going on a lease with anybody ever again. I don't even think a boyfriend. Like I really just don't want to sign any legal contracts with anybody because now I'm scarred. But today, I literally got a message, an email from the leasing office saying that, drum roll, please. Get ready. She's going to remove my name from the lease. And I almost cried on this couch. Like, it has been since September. I've been dealing with this fuck shit from New Jersey. And I never thought I would see the day that she really was going to take my name off of this lease. And honestly, like, taking my name off of the lease is kind of best case scenario because I never thought that was going to happen. I would have done that from the beginning, obviously. But they told me you can't have subletters, you can't do lease transfer, you can't do lease break, whatever. I would have done this from the beginning. But now we had to go through this whole thing. My heart, my body, my head had to go through all this stress. Cortisol levels at an all-time high, just to end up here with my name off the lease. So once that is official, which it should be this afternoon, I haven't finished checking my emails, we're done. We're done with the New Jersey apartment saga, fucking finally. For a minute there, I didn't know if I'd ever get here. But we made it. And like I said, I wish that girl the absolute worst in her life. I hope that she stubs her toe every day forever. And I now never have to think about her again. And the vengeful part of me, now that I'm off the lease, I've been saying like, oh, once I get off the lease, I'm going to put her on blast. But I kind of just want to protect my peace now. I say this now. I say this right now because I'm happy. But, you know, there may come a time where you see her face pop up on my everything because she deserves it. Sometimes when you fuck around, you find out. And she deserves to find out. So stay tuned on that, whether I'm going to be vengeful or not. But I am just overjoyed, elated. This finally wrapped itself up. And because of this, I got a new apartment. And this time is for real. Last time I was like, yeah, I got a new apartment. I'm about to sign the lease, blah, blah, blah. And then there was a freak accident and a leak. Clearly that just wasn't meant to be. This time, it's mine. And I got it before anyone else. They literally released it on Street Easy that morning. And because I was here, I ran over to the building that day. I was like the third person to see it. And the guy told me, the guy at the leasing office was actually a Bachelor fan. And he was like, look, I'm going to be honest with you. Like the people that came before you were really interested. If you want it, you should jump on it. And so I applied in like the next 2 hours. And now it's mine. And I get to move back to New York, finally, officially, the first week of March. So what am I doing until March? Well, I'm going to Vegas, as you know, and then it's Fashion Week, so I need to be back here. But after that, I kind of have like 2.5-ish weeks where I don't have anywhere to go. So might be in my homeless era again. I have a lot of friends here and like, yeah, they've offered, but I kind of just like, I don't know. I hate feeling like a burden and like being in people's way when they're trying to work during the week or like being on an air mattress. Like, I just feel like I'm too old for that. So I might just get a hotel. I might reach out to someone and see if I can do a collab. But I am officially coming back to New York finally. Cheers. I'm definitely super excited for this new chapter with Cash, for the new podcast era. Obviously, not that much is changing. Like, we're still going to be in the same studio. We're still going to be coming out every Monday, which is great. But I don't know. I just feel like there's a momentum that's coming with this change, with all of these changes. I feel like when you're in a really shitty, low place in your life, like when it feels like, okay, when it rains, it pours, like everything's happening at the same time, everything's bad. That's actually a good sign because you know the tide's about to turn. Like, I feel like I was at rock bottom at my house with all this crap happening to me. And I was a little bit in like, woe is me, like I have a sad little life mode. Definitely being like, I don't know, a pathetic little, not victim, but like I was just feeling sorry for myself for sure. Um, and I think the new energy with like coming back to New York, starting fresh with the podcast, starting fresh in a new apartment, like that's exactly what I've been waiting for. And so I just know in my heart of hearts, and so does Cash, that the podcast is going to be successful. It's going to be great. It's going to reach a lot of people. Like we're already talking about how we want to do live shows. Everyone has always been asking me in New York, like, would you do a meet and greet? Like we want to do a launch party. Like we want to do a lot and we want to do things in person and we want to make it bigger. And I feel like because now I have like somebody else with me, we can like actually do that. Because I just don't think I had the bandwidth to do it all. Like I was like, okay, I can record all my episodes every week, but everything else on my own, like I can't. So I'm just really excited for that. And I'm excited for like the new fresh start. I feel like I've been craving this since fall. But as far as Vaughnerable ending, like it is a little sad. It's always a little sad when like one chapter closes, another one opens. And this was my baby, as you guys know. I started it in my freaking Brooklyn apartment that I don't even have anymore. And so much has happened. Like since I started the podcast, I was in an entire secret relationship for over a year. Then I announced this relationship. Then I go through a breakup. Then I go like through multiple moves to like, it's just so much life has happened in these episodes. And you guys have been here with me to witness it all. So I just feel like it's like really special. So I definitely just want to say thanks to all of you guys. Thank you for being here. Thank you for accepting me in all ways that I've showed up on this couch and just accepting my evolution. Like Vaughnerable was what it was. And I think it needed to happen so that I could have Cash on and so that we could see like, oh my God, this is great together. Like we have something here. Like I don't think me and Cash would have started a podcast together had it not been for this podcast. So I feel like it was like the building blocks that we needed to get to where we were going. And so I'll always be grateful for that. But obviously I want you guys to be there for this new era. So please follow along. It's going to be called On the Sidewalk. It's coming out next Monday. We're going to be dropping little teasers and promos all week. And I'm so excited for you guys to see all the stuff that we recorded and shot because we've been keeping it a secret from you guys. So definitely follow us. Follow me, first of all, at Chelsea Vaughn, because I'll have all the updates. I'll be tagging Cash and I'll be tagging On the Sidewalk. So the new handle is going to be On the Sidewalk Pod. And we're still going to be on YouTube every week with the full long length episodes. And then we're getting everything started up with the TikTok and with YouTube Shorts and everything else. But you can find us. You'll be able to find it. Trust me. We're going to be blowing it up, blasting it on my page for sure. But that's it. That's it. It's a wrap on Vaughnerable. Thanks, guys. And we'll see you next Monday on the sidewalk.